Hello and welcome to Bitesize Edge. So today I have the pleasure of talking to Ali Lewin, who is a personal development coach. So is it morning? No, it's afternoon. Afternoon, Ali. How are you?
I'm really well, thank you, Jules. It's lovely to be invited to your podcast. Thank you very much indeed.
Oh, you're very welcome. You're very welcome. So, Ali, let's kick off with just tell us a little bit about yourself, how you came to do what you do, which is working as a personal development coach, and also how you came, I'm going to ask you 3 questions in one, and how you came to work with Edge.
Okay, so my personal development journey probably started, I hate to say it, but 30 years ago. And I worked in industry for a long time. I was operations manager. And throughout my career, I'd always been the person that kind of took on the training and development of junior managers, and I just thoroughly enjoyed it. And I think the thing that I enjoyed about it most, rather than actually running the business, was the fact that I could watch somebody grow from a new employee, and in some cases to actually be my boss, which, you know, was just fantastic to see these individuals develop and grow because I saw something inside them. And then I kind of transferred. Once I'd left industry, I set up on my own, and I used to go into schools and I used to teach what they called at the time life skills. That was all about communication, and it was all about how to be a citizen, and, you know, basic things about how to go into a job interview, how to sit in the chair, make the eye contact, shake the hand, and all things like that. And it was all about personal growth for a school leaver, maybe age 16 to 18. Then I trained as an actress, so I had all of those acting skills that I could kind of bring to the table, all of those things that I'd learned about inner confidence and inner self-development. And oh gosh, with a myriad of experiences behind me, I thought, you know, the thing that I'm really passionate about is watching other people grow and develop. I got interested in NLP way back in 2014. And it was only having made a few new contacts that I learned about Edge, and you were highly recommended to me. So, and you know, luckily you were right on my doorstep, and the timing, everything fell into alignment. And gosh, I'm so glad I made that initial contact with you, because it's actually been a turning point in my life. So that's been fantastic.
We always love to hear those stories. So, Ali, you just kind of slipped in there that this started about 30 years ago, which I can't believe, because I don't believe you're old enough. You did, so you worked in industry to start with, and then you went and did your training as an actor.
Yes, it was. I was a very late starter. I was mid-40s, and you know, the reason I left it so late was, gosh, it's very difficult, because growing up in Liverpool as I did, I didn't see that maybe opportunities were there for me when perhaps they were. I was always good at drama at school. I was always being told I was good at drama. I've always been told I'm a good writer. But because of circumstance, I either didn't see the opportunities and didn't know they were there, or I just didn't take them. And it took a long time. I followed the regular pattern of going to university, getting my degree, which is management psychology. And then I continued throughout industry, working for myself, working for other companies. And then sadly, I mean, I was running my own business at the time. And sadly, I met a really wonderful woman who was in her mid-30s and I was mid-40s. And she had one ambition in life, Jules, and that one ambition was to find the perfect man for her, get married and have children. And I thought, what a wonderful thing that she wants. This is her only goal in life, and it's wonderful. She did find the perfect man. She had the wedding booked, and then sadly she contracted cancer. And within about 6 weeks of the wedding, she sadly died. So her wedding actually became her blooming funeral, and she was buried in a wedding dress. And I thought, this girl was 36 years old, and I'm 40. At the time, I was 43, 44, and I thought, she followed her heart and her dream, and I haven't. and I knew what that was, so I bit the bullet. And I didn't tell anybody. I auditioned at Drama Studio London, had several rounds of auditions, got in, and then, gosh, made that leap of moving from the north to the south to go and fulfil my ambition of being an actress. And you know what? Sadly, it stemmed from a friend, dying of cancer, but it really did give me the kick up the backside I needed at that age to realise an ambition and a dream, which I did. And it taught me so much. And again, it reiterated that the one thing I've always had through life was this, this thing about confidence and this thing. And I found actually that because I was so much older than everybody else at drama school, I kind of became the mummy and the go-to person when they were struggling, and with their kind of limiting beliefs, and me being the one saying, come on, you can do this. Wow. So it kind of reiterated the path that I followed since.
Wow, what a story. Gosh, that's incredible. I don't think I ever knew that, Ali. We share something in the fact that although it wasn't the same year, we went to the same drama school.
Yes, we did. We've got lots of people in common.
We do. 6 degrees of separation. It does tend to happen. Yeah. But that's such an incredible story, and I'm so glad that you followed that. And that was kind of, as you said, the kick up the bum that you needed to go, hang on a minute, life is for now, and bring off what you truly want. Just that's an amazing story. So you went to drama school, and then did you leave wanting to work purely as an actor, or did you go to drama school to fulfill the dream of going to drama school and becoming a professional actor? And then was it more about using the skills that you learned at drama school to almost top up your already overflowing toolkit from all of your previous experience?
Yeah, it was all of those, in all honesty. When I was already working as an actress, funnily enough, I had an agent back up in the north, and I'd done several TV programs. I'd been on stage. I'd done, countless TV commercials. Yeah. But I'm the type of person that if I say that I do something, I kind of need the certificate to prove it. Yeah. So I think that all started when I did my cycling proficiency test at the age of 7. And somebody gave me a certificate to tell me I could ride a bike, and it just, I've been collecting certificates throughout my whole life. So this was no different. I was already working and being paid as a professional actress, but I always had this nagging doubt: was I really professional because I hadn't trained? Right. So it was part of that. It was part of wanting to realise the ambition, part of wanting to, for my own self-development, say, you know what, I can do this. And also, as you said, to add to that tool bag, because I didn't really realise that until I got there, that that's what I kind of helped other people do. Was, well, I mean, I did realise it, but being an actor again and meeting new people, and still in my 40s, I'm still helping other people grow rather than, I look after myself and I look after other people grow as well. I did work, in fact, funnily enough, I was the first person out of our year at drama school to get a professional job. Yeah. So that was good. I did 3 months Shakespeare. So that was fantastic, and it kind of just developed from there. Amazing.
So you said also, so had you, up until that point, Ali, of being 43, 44, had you always lived in Liverpool?
No, gosh, I left Liverpool when I was 22, actually.
Okay. So were you already down south? Were you already?
No, I moved out of Liverpool, and I kind of lived all over the northwest, as it were, and kind of settled. My home for nearly, I would say, 10 years was Lytham St Anne's.
Okay.
And then I moved down south to London in 2009, so I've been down here ever since.
And are you here to stay?
Oh gosh, yes, absolutely. I mean, it's really funny because as growing up as a little girl, I spent a lot of time in Surrey, believe it or not. My mum's auntie and uncle lived in Walton-on-Thames in Surrey. So in the school holidays, it was lovely. And in my school holidays, I used to spend a lot of time with Auntie Doris and Uncle Jim.
Oh.
So I kind of spent most of my childhood, right up until being in my 20s, spent a good 2 weeks in Surrey, if not longer. So it's a place that I always loved. I've always loved the city of London. And it was my mum, sadly mum's not with me anymore, but she used to say to me, I know you're going to live down there one day. I just know it. I can feel it.
Oh. So this is home now.
Very much so, yes.
Okay, so Ali, you talked about the whole cycling proficiency and getting your first certificate and then chasing those certificates all the way through.
Yeah.
Because I remember having a phone conversation with you before you decided to come on board with Edge. And I remember standing in my garden, having this conversation with you in the garden, because we've got such poor internet connection here. So definitely walking around the garden, trying to keep you on the other end of the line. And you talked about your work as an actor. And you said to me, I'm already doing all of this, because you were using NLP in so much of the work that you were doing. But again, it was for you just wanting to almost have that stamp to say, look, I am and can do this, as a kind of recognition of, although I already do it, it's for me, it's really important to have that as I don't know whether credibility is the right word, but that level of, I don't know, recognition might not be the right word, but just to show that you've done all of the kind of right things in order to get your qualification, I guess, even though it was already so much part and parcel of what you were doing.
Yeah. And I think that's really important, because if someone's going to pay for your service, I think it's only right that you show them. And credibility is a good word to use, Jules, because, it proves that I've gone through a level of training and I haven't just read a few self-help books and then I'm regurgitating, the stuff that I've read. Although, there's nothing bad about that. I was self-taught from the very beginning. But for my own personal development, for my own belief in myself, I want that, and I don't think there's anything wrong in that, and I will continue to do that. In fact, as you know, I'm booked onto your master practitioner course, which I'm so excited about, because for me, if I can develop myself, then that's the best way I can help other people develop, because I'm living this firsthand. So God, if I think I look back at, I don't want to say where I've come from, but yes, where I've come from and the journey I've taken. I strongly believe if I can do this, by God, so can anybody.
I think that's such an important comment that you made there, because it's so difficult, isn't it? This term that we use, coach. From my point of view, working as a coach, it's so many people can call themselves a coach. And I absolutely wholeheartedly agree with you in the fact that unless you have lived it, unless you have experienced it and been to those really kind of not so nice places and really discovered who you are, then how are you able to help others if you're not aware of who you are? This level of self-awareness, I think, is absolutely key when you start working with people. And we always, we say a lot within the NLP world, somebody else's model of the world, and really respecting that it is their model of the world. But it's not a case of going, okay, I understand everything that's going on for you, but really respecting that they are going through whatever it is that they're going through. And with that level of experience and that level of knowledge and all of those tools in your toolkit, that then allows you to be the best version of you. I know that's a really corny saying, but for you to be the best version of you in order to be the best coach you can be. So I wholeheartedly agree with what you're saying there, Ali. And you're coming back for more.
I'm so excited. And this lockdown, we could have been there and done it, but I am so excited about this. I will never stop developing. I will never stop learning for myself. And And partly, but I mean, I've used this lockdown I've been on Shakespeare classes, I've gone through, I'm doing screen acting classes, I'm doing everything that I can to keep my personal development up at a level that I want it to be. And I feel by doing that and keeping my skill toolkit topped up, again, I can only be the best version of myself, as you say, to help other people, which is my passion. I just absolutely love. I mean, gosh, it's so funny, Jules. I went for a walk yesterday, and there was a sign that said there were caterpillars around on the leaves. It was kind of a nature reserve to look out for these caterpillars. And I remember as a child just being fascinated by a caterpillar and the way it grew into a butterfly. Something so beautiful.
Yeah.
And I feel that's a beautiful element of being a human being. As well, that everybody has that potential inside them to grow into something beautiful. And how wonderful to be a part of somebody else's journey. How fantastic.
It's utterly humbling, I think.
Back and say, I knew them as a caterpillah, and now look at them. Now look at them spreading their wings and flying.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So, Ali, obviously, gosh, we could talk for hours. There's so many things that you do, and I know that you have so many talents, but right now your focus very much is on your personal development coaching. So if anybody listening to this would like to get in contact with you, I don't know, to maybe have a chat about coaching or just to learn more about you and all the things that you do, how can they go about doing that?
Oh, that's really lovely of you, Jules. Thank you. My website is called Act On It.
Okay.
So it's www.actonit.org.uk.
Okay.
And that really came about, the Act On It was because I was working at the Actors Centre and I was working at the Comedy Pub, and I was running a lot of workshops on stage fright. So that's how the name kind of developed. So it's Act On It. ACTONIT.org.uk. And the Facebook page is the same as well. And funnily enough, Jules, this is perfect timing because as of tomorrow, I'm running 3 webinars tomorrow and for the rest of the week. And they're coping strategies for anxiety and being your own best friend. Really, which is that a lot of people forget how to be their own best friend. So I'm going to be looking at those 2 aspects of kind of being your own life coach, if you will.
Sure. Okay, well, that's good to know. So I will get that up and shared today. So people, if they want to, can jump on board that webinar. Can they book directly through your website?
It's probably better to do it through Eventbrite, and that way I've got a handle on what's coming through. So Eventbrite is where it is. If they go onto my website, the direct link is actually there.
And on Eventbrite, is it as Act On It or is it Ali Lewin?
No, it's Act On It.
Okay, so everything is Act On It.
Yes.
Wonderful. Ali, thank you so much for your time today. It has been a pleasure talking to you. We can't wait to see you again in November for your Masters. We will very much look forward to seeing you then. And if anybody wants to find out more about Ali, please go to actonit.org.uk or over to her Facebook page with the same name. And I will be sharing all of these details as soon as we're off this podcast. So Ali, thank you. Have a fabulous rest of the day.
Thanks, Jules. And can I just say, for anybody out there who wants this level of self-development and perhaps wants to do NLP, there's no better place to train than Edge, honestly.
Oh, I'll give you a fiver later. Thanks for that. All right, take care. Lovely to talk to you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.